This works through the computer too.
Yeah,
Yo, we live right now, y'all.
I'm on the desktop.
What's up, guys? This is your boy Ghost Rider 730, and we are back. Let's talk about it with your boy Ghost 100 and my man Hebot. This is something different right now, guys. We finally got the links on how to do this. You know, it kept us off for a while, but I'm back. My crew is back. We got a lot to talk about. Yo, 100.
Mm,
I just wanted to bring this up, man.
mm.
Before we get into gears, before we get into all the good stuff, I just want to say, for all your Kojima fans out there, yes, I am happy because now I can speak my opinion, brother. Yeah, guys? Because, yo, do y'all know that this game right now is going to get probably Game of the Year, but the Kojima himself was saying basically that the game is trash, but basically, don't worry, towards the end in the middle of the game, it gets good. So in the beginning is dog shit because I watched for almost an hour or some change that game to see what was unique about this game. And from what I seen, it was just straight dog shit. Like horrible, bro. The graphics might look okay and everything, but still, it's open land, open world of nothing, bro. Nothing. That's sad, man. And this is the thing that people bash Gears of War, guys, but they're gonna praise a game where you make shit, bombs out of shit, bombs out of piss. You're running with a book bag, what come in the back, bruh. You're FedEx, man. You're all kind of things, man. Like this game is twisted, bro. I call it a man with a C-section, guys. That is a weird ass game. You understand? You feel me? Uh, a guy cradling a baby, bro. I just gotta, I don't know, guys. What y'all think about this? Cause I got more. I'm gonna let y'all talk. Cause I'm a rant about, not rant, but I just want to dig this thing a new asshole because this game right here should hit low 80s or something because I don't think it deserves to be a 90. I'm being honest. Just my honest opinion for what I seen on gameplay. What do you think about it, Hunter?
Oh, you talking about the Piston Simulator? Oh,
Oh
man.
yeah.
Every time I watch something, it messes my mind screwed up. The game is dead in the water because it's gonna go head up with Call of Duty and the new Star Wars. You know them ponies don't buy the games; they red box them. So it's a trip.
It's a trip, right?
It's a trip, but they're gonna get praises about it. They're gonna try to praise it, but they ain't gonna let it praise. It don't really bother me at all. I ain't buying that shit. You know what I'm saying? You waited this long for that piece of shit. I don't know if that motherfucker's a FedEx man, a fucking carrying baby man, walking around, motivating them.
Yeah.
This shit is crazy.
It is crazy, Hunter. Like I don't understand the game, Hunter. He don't even understand the game.
He Kojima ain't put nothing good out since motherfucking Metal Gear Solid 2. I'm
I
gonna
think
keep the buck. I wasn't into Snake Eater. You know what I'm saying? It's always something crazy with him.
yeah, I'm not.
Confirmed that is piss. There's
That is
urine
pitch, right?
it's some urine that got something medical marijuana in it or some shit.
It grows mushrooms.
Yeah, man. Like,
Yo, Hunter, man, I ain't gonna lie. With this game right here, from what I've seen and watched, it's like the enemies that he is fighting, right? He's running around and they got these glowing dildo sticks. They got and they trying to strike him and it looks so corny, bro. Like the game looks corny as hell. But this man is gonna get praised. And hey, for all your Kojima fans out there, you're gonna make this game a high scoring game. We all know that. But to say that this game is a masterpiece, I think y'all really need to put your head on the floor and tell somebody to kick you in the face. Because this shit right here,
I mean, it went quiet.
he is, yeah, he's just overrated, man. And I just feel like at the end of the day, he's not he's not all cracked out. How you say it? All this hype that he has with him. And I understand he made Metal Gears. I remember playing it before when I was younger. I remember all. He ain't that dude, man. There's other developers out there that's nicer than him, to me, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And I feel a game like that where you gotta piss and make shit bombs. You're running around not doing nothing for hours. Basically, you in a room where they looking at your crotch. Think about that. What kind of queer shit is that? You're looking at a man's cock, and he hits the screen. Like, there's nothing dope about that. You know what? I'm actually thinking, Hunnit. Right now, I'm actually thinking this game is just a better version of what's that game? Sims.
Oh,
It's a better version of Sims, bro. Because they use the bathroom. You know what I mean? They piss. They need to eat. So I think, man, this man made a better version of Sims, man. In a apocalyptic world or something. Because this game, I don't know. Do you even know what the game is about?
no, we were trying to figure out. We tried.
Yeah, we lost Bot, but he'll be back.
I think going on the desktop. No, yeah, I don't know. My Bloody Knuckles tried to explain to us Friday night on GRG.
Yeah.
I told anybody can get it, even people from my own crew. If you buy that baby doll, I'm getting them. Got the tear gas for you.
Oh, yeah.
You buying dolls. But, you know, some people thinking he's a genius. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I say, it ain't really no Kojima. It's not like, oh man, that's a Kojima game. You gotta play this. No, and they gonna red box that motherfucker like they do all the rest of their shit.
I mean, they got a bigger fan base, so it should sell. And he's got a big fan base on himself. And I heard he's that cocky. He's that cocky to say that, you know, like, he did everything. He made that game, period. So at the end of the day, I feel $30 demo, 2 boards, not even.
Ghost, I think you went on a silent for a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it sounded like you went silent, like you muted.
You went
So say,
yeah, you went out.
yeah, say what,
Oh, wow.
say what you were saying again.
Nah, to say what I'm saying is this, guys. I feel that the dude, I paid $30 for a game, Metal Gear Solid. There was a demo, bro. I thought it was the game at the time, and I felt like I got robbed. This dude robbed me, bro, for $30 to go inside jail or whatever, a camp, and the game was over. Like, nah. Who is this dude? He felt like he think he that dude. And bruh, I don't feel like his games is popping like that. Like, I remember, like I said in the beginning, I played with my brother when we was younger, Metal Gear Solids. He likes that shit. I kind of liked it. But you know, when you run around the corner, the nigga in the box, wink, and it goes like that, and they try to take you. Like, common sense, brother. If you walk through this damn hallway and there wasn't a fucking box, and you go through the door and you come back and there's a box there, wouldn't that be strange? But
Yeah,
that's the
the thing
Kojima
about
game.
it with Kojima, don't play like on a how can I say? Kojima don't play like I liked it because it was a little bit different. That was the first kind of like real espionage game that you could play. They had it on the Nintendo, but this one kind of looked real. You know what I'm saying? And it made you think. Yeah, you should know it's a Japanese game because the damn bosses is crazy. Like one of the favorite bosses you ever fought at all time was Psycho Mantis. Because you used to trip. You tripped the first time Psycho Mantis knew all your moves, where you were going left, right. You used to pull out a gun.
Yeah.
Was this dude really psychic? How do you know I'm gonna do this shit? And man, realize you go plug your controller into the second one, he can't read it, and you can just air his ass out. What's wrong with me? You know. He had corny bosses and stuff like that. I like the Snake because you know I like the little espionage. I'm mad because they made him old as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Shit. You know, I even like writing. Writing to me is more Americanized That game, like it's even. I don't even think they did. I think Platinum did that game, but I'm gonna go back and play it. I even like writing Metal Gear Solid writing.
Yeah.
So to me, some of them games are acquired taste. You know, them ponies don't buy that shit. It's all on my timelines.
Yeah.
All my timelines. The ponies talking shit.
Ha, let them talk, man. That's all they're gonna do is talk. Because right now, and Bot, before I get into that, Bot, what do you think about Death Stranding, brother? Bot, you there?
Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, I was I was looking at the program here. It lets you tweet out stuff right from where you are on air.
Yeah.
So I was tweeting it out just to see if it goes through. It's really cool. It's got some nice little features right down here. Um, so the question is what I think about Kojima's Death Stranding.
Yep.
I mean,
Oh, I think he dropped out. Yeah, he dropped out, 100. But he'll be back. Whew, well, the Death Stranding game, man, I just feel like, to me, I think it's overhyped, bro. And I feel like since it's been dry out there in the PlayStation land for like a year and some change, they're gonna overhype this game and make it look like this is God's gift to Earth. And they trying to clown Gears of War because of Game Pass. And I'm saying if a game can actually get 3 million people in the first week on there on Game Pass, that's a good ass thing, bro. Because if you really look at it, and when you do the math on $60 game, you know, some people will buy a $60 game, right? You know, it might sell maybe 1, 2, 3 million, 4 million. How much Uncharted and all of them sold? 100.
I don't know. I think it did like 5 to 6.
5 to 6.
Yeah, it didn't do nothing great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great for them, but my issue is when I do the analytics on it. If you got 100 million consoles out there,
Yeah.
why are you pushing 10 to 15?
Hmm.
If you have all these consoles sold,
Now,
that question is like, oh, that's as good.
yeah.
That's good. What Microsoft's doing with Game Pass is something different.
Yep.
They're saying, hey, you give me $15 a month. Got the option to give me 10, but you give me 15. I give you the ultimate editions of the games. So that saves you more than $60. That's $100 edition. Plus, you get all these games. Jump Force is winning there. All these games. You can go play the new Devil May Cry. You got different games. You don't have to worry about it by Xbox exclusive. And see, Xbox is doing this. When they gave us Forza Horizon 4 for free, I went out and bought the ultimate game. I bought the ultimate game pack. So you got the ultimate game pack. That was like 120 something. So that's all the DLC and everything, the James Bond cards and all that. I ended up spending $40. So Microsoft is saying, okay, we got the 100. Because I usually wait on that DLC. I'll be waiting on when it go on discount. Because I play Forza, but I'm not really. The first DLC I bought day one was the Hot Wheels. It was, and I was like, oh man, this is crazy. I had to get it. But other than that, I paid $40 and I got everything. I get new cars every other week. You know, this and this and that. But I really I spent 40. So look how many people that spend 40. You can have like 100 people spend 40 instead of 100 people don't spend nothing.
Let me tell you something.
So that's what people have to understand.
But I can't check this out. I don't know if it's $15 that she put down. You know, a month. You know how they say the $15 a month. If you get like I think 3 million people, the way she had put it, or some, I gotta ask her right now, babe. How many? What was the amount you put of people? A million? Only a million. All right. So if let's just say a million subscribe to Game Pass, right? Do you know how much money did they make for that? I don't know if it's a year or on the months.
No, yeah, you pay $15 a month.
Yo,
You
no,
got to
I
pay.
did the amount. If you add it up,
Yeah.
bro, that's 180. I think billion dollars, bro. Or million dollars. Like that's a lot of. Do the math right now. Calculate that. Year. I don't know if it's a year. Let me ask her, babe. Is that a year? Was that a year? 180 million. I think. Wait. Let me see. I think million. 180 million a year. So think about that. You spending $60 on a game that's gonna get you maybe 3, 4, 5 million, 6. Look how much money they banking in, bro. That's
Even,
why
with-
they
even
put
the ones
games
that's
like
saying that's
Game
$10 one.
Pass.
And then you got people, well, they charging you $1, $2. You know, me people that leave their subscriptions alone. They don't go to their
You,
subscription. They forget about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
They forget like, oh,
Did you guys hear me before when I was talking or no?
yeah, we
Yeah,
heard
we
you,
could
but
have
you
heard you.
went out.
No, I'm saying when you asked me the question, did you guys hear anything I was saying?
No, not at all, because you just clicked out.
Really? I must have pressed something wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, when you finish saying what you were saying, 100, just ask me the question again, and I'll let you know
Yeah.
what's up.
So they're looking at it as a service, and the service is good for what? The consumer. I don't see why people be bitching. Oh, y'all renting the game. Motherfucker, I download this shit to my hard drive. I'm not doing like PlayStation. I'm not streaming shit.
Microsoft banking in that money, bro.
Yeah.
You see how much money that was on it?
Look at, and then people say it may be bad for the developers. How's bad for the developers? Because you give that game more legs. They got over 100
if
games.
Yeah, that's over 100. Yeah, you ain't lying on Game
You
Pass.
got
That's a lot of games.
over 100 games. So you gonna have to put two to two, man. Like, man, they looking at it as, hey, we're making it better. And I ain't never knew understand why people somehow you rather pay 60 than pay $15 a month. 2 games, that's $120.
Yes, you're right. Actually, a little
Oh,
more
people can't afford that.
with
Some
tax.
people can't afford them games like we buy them games. This is expensive ass hobby. And they gave it where this is why you should pick our box, because we here for the game. We have it where you go pick up your kid a new Xbox. You can give them Game Pass, and they ain't got to worry about a whole bunch of games.
Yeah,
Everybody can afford buying games several times a month at $80 or what you call it plus. Look what this came out: Gears, Borderlands. If you go try to do the Ultimate Edition, you spend there like $320.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie. All these games that came out, man. That's man. Game. Look, Hunter. Let's be honest here, and for the people down in the comment section, and even Hebot, and all the gamers out there for PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox gamers out there. It's an expensive hobby, man. Gaming is an expensive hobby. Do you know how much games you have, Hunter? How much games Hebot got? How much games I got? That's actually worth $60 a pop, and even more, $80 to $100 a game. Think about that. It's an expensive. Gaming is very expensive, and having a thing like Game Pass is a blessing for those that can't afford those games. The mothers, the fathers that's out there that works hard, they can't afford to give their kids great quality games. And now you can buy the system for $500 or maybe $400, and you get a quality thing like Game Pass that gets your kid all the games, over 100 some games. You can't beat that. You cannot beat that. Whoever says Game Pass is horrible and it's bad for gaming, it's just hating, man.
I think it's good for the developer because, like, even with Gears, right? If I bought the Ultimate Edition, I'm not gonna buy no. Think about I'm gonna buy some skins. No, when I get the Ultimate Edition now, say a skin pack came out, How many of us will go pay $20 for the skins to put on your guns and all that other shit? Because you didn't pay. You didn't have this already.
Yeah.
I don't buy that.
Hmm. Well, he back. What do you think about Death Stranding? And we also talking about Game Pass, me and Hunter.
Right, right. I kind of figured that. Well, first of all, it's good to be back. Bye, y'all, you motherfuckers. So, it's just, it's good
It's
to
been
be
a while,
back.
my brother. It's
Yeah,
been
because
a
we
while.
haven't had a platform since YouTube and Hangouts is changing things and kind of closing the doors for a lot of people. It just comes with the territory. Once money's involved, everybody want a piece of the pie. So it is what it is. But we figured out a way so far, thanks to Ghost and his, obviously his right hand man, his wifey, and they're getting things done. But anyway, look, to get right into it, I have a little bit of a cold, so I can't really get retarded, but I'll try to speak as best as I can. The thing with Kojima is, look, we all know, let's be real. The guy doesn't really have a lot of games in his repertoire. You know what I mean? The guy started off with a game called Snatcher back on the Sega CD, and I believe it was also released, uh, you know, uh, in some other venues, but like consoles that I can't really remember. But he also did the first Metal Gear, which was on the MSX computer consoles by Microsoft, which also was later interpreted to the NES. But it was part of the Metal Gear world that they developed only in the 2D format back then, based off console limitations. But as far as narrative wise, his first game was real narrative, like really more elaborate. Was Snatcher. It was more of an interactive comic book basically. It was inspired heavily by Blade Runner, said by himself. And then you saw that he got into Metal Gear Solid, obviously years later with the PlayStation One in the 3D realm, and made it more narrative heavy. He also did Zone of the Enders, but he was really a producer, I think, for the story as well. He really had nothing to do with development of the game, and then he also worked as producer for the movie and story narrative for the reboots or the imaginary re-envisions of the Castlevania's Lords of Shadow 1 and 2 on the 360 and PS3 era, which phenomenal. Those are phenomenal games. Story wise, they're also fantastic. So his true bread and butter is how to represent, narrative style games with heavy narrative on screen. But that doesn't necessarily make you a good game developer. That you can make games with great gameplay or with fun factor that with the different styles of gameplay that you can actually conjure up that exists in the gaming realm. As we all know, it's probably his best game is Metal Gear Solid 3, which was Snake Eater, and then a lot of people like the Guns of the Patriots, which was Part 4, exclusive for PS3. But even the ending was like an hour and a half long. Like it was very heavy on cutscenes, very heavy.
Yeah.
And as far as the gameplay, it was cool. It was all right, but it wasn't nothing to write home about. It just felt stiff. And then when you had games like Splinter Cell that came up and challenged it from the Tom Clancy series, it gave a lot to be desired, especially when you played them. So, um, you know, he's never really been known for making great quality games. It's narrative. So the thing with Death Stranding, it's very abstract. It's like it has a lot of subliminal messaging. So there's a term for that people use that when they say things and see things like that when it's cinematic, right? It's called avant-garde, right? Because it's supposed to be, like I said, very subliminal. It's very abstract. And I think that in Kojima's case, he had this idea with the game, with characters, about the world based on new events that are going on in our lives here now, like in the government, the way things are in society. But he didn't know how to really execute it the way he wanted it to in a game. So he just put together a lot of his ideas because it looks like it's borrowing a lot from the Metal Gear style gameplay. So that's why it has like that stiff look. But at the same time, it looks like it's also doing a lot of things that are kind of really weird and maybe not interesting to the bigger mass market of gamers because you have to have a relationship with the baby. It looks like you have to sing to it, sing it lullabies, play a flute, The man gets inside a dirty water and takes a bath. Then they show him in the shower taking a bath butt naked.
Ah,
Which is suspect as hell because in
yep,
all his games he always puts something that's suspect. Because
yes,
even in Metal Gear, when he put that you gotta camouflage yourself when you touch the statue, it has to be specifically. They show him holding the penis of the statue and nowhere else. Like he puts a lot of shit in there that just
wow, that's crazy.
makes it look suspect, like suspect. And
I
me
don't know.
personally, and maybe you guys, as far as I know, like 100 has been very vocal about it, and you yourself, that really doesn't tickle my Elmo. I don't
Yeah,
like
that's
games
I'm not
that
with
have
that.
suspicious shit. I don't, but I understand where it comes from because the man's Japanese, right? It's part of their heritage. They do that a lot with their stuff, like animes. They do that a lot of stuff with their
Yeah,
storytelling and their mangas. But when you have an American audience, that's your biggest audience at the time and at the moment, it's going to be a hard sell. So I think Death Stranding will sell decent enough for him and maybe for the money that Sony provided for him to make the game. But at the same time, I think that it's not going to do as well as it should based off install base that's supposed to be at 93 million installed, I mean sold units or 91, right? Not
yeah,
shipped, but sold, right? Apparently.
yeah.
I think it's going to do a lot worse than people think because a lot of people think it's going to do a lot of people think it's going to do really well because it's Kojima, and I think it's just going to do well more critically. I could see it being critically acclaimed because it's different, because it's this, or because maybe the story is going to be really edgy and groundbreaking, and it's going to have all these stars from all these places and all these historical, actors from back in the day, like the girl that played the Bionic Woman.
So you think he's using that to get this game above a average that's high, and they really want to buy this game?
Well, I think critically, like since everybody are especially people like Jeff Keighley that pushes the narrative with developers and people in the industry,
That's his
they-
show. Too.
they're gonna push it to make it be like Game of the Year. I think so. I don't have no doubt in my mind. I mean, I know how, especially that he's in the game too, and they have like that type of bond and relationship so so openly on social media. You understand?
Yep.
So I just think that excuse me for coughing. I'm just like I said, I'm not well. So I think that critically, the it's going to be praised, even though with the user base is going to be a mixed bag. I think it's going to be where most users are not going to really like it, with the exception of the fanboys of Kojima, quote unquote. Um,
Oh yeah.
he even said it himself that he's really not sure what the game is yet, and I think it's because he's discovering it as he's making the game, which also gives me the impression that he must be thinking ahead. I think the game's going to be broken down in obviously in sequels to feel more like if it was episodic in a way, because that's what it was. Like, original idea was originally. And back in February, I think it was either February or January, he had tweeted out, Death Stranding is not going to come out no time soon. And then in April, boom, they do that state of play. They show it. Oh, it's coming out this year, which leads me to believe that it was Sony probably pushing it to come out faster because they didn't have a big AAA for this year.
Yeah.
Because Concrete Genie is obviously an independent game. It was $30 title. They don't really look at that as a AAA. And neither is a Medieval remaster from back in the PlayStation 1. That game wasn't even a thought process back then. Like, nobody even talked about that. Because this generation is hysterical that this generation, they're trying to make it seem like all those old PlayStation games, including Crash, were like big cult classics back in the era when they came out, when it wasn't, because you had things from 64 and from Saturn that were a lot more iconic and they were a lot more praised and people were playing more because they were really doing and pushing boundaries as opposed to Crash. It wasn't really doing that. It was just the first 3D platform that would switch some boards in 3D and then some boards in 2D. And that's what made it different to them. But it wasn't popular, is what I'm trying to say. And now, because of this generation, Sony being the leading platform, quote unquote, everything they make, something they're trying to say, oh yeah, medieval. That game was amazing. Everybody loved it. Bullshit. Go look at the numbers. Look how it sold. Even back then, those games didn't sell. Same thing like Crash. They sold, but it wasn't a big like retarded number. You know what I mean? Especially based off the 127 million units that the PlayStation sold back, the PlayStation One. So it's just like everything they do in this generation that's affiliated with Sony, they try to make it out, especially the media as well, because a lot of them grew up with PlayStation. They try to make it seem like everything they do is fantastic and that's great. So I think he doesn't really know where he wants to go with the direction of the game as far as gameplay, what he wants to add to the gameplay. Because a lot of the stuff is even far fetched because he has like all that stuff in his backpack that no normal human being can walk for so long with all that stuff and be okay and not be able to survive and climbing mountains with a ladder that extends. Like that shit is just retarded.
Pulling ladders out his butt
Yeah,
cheeks.
yeah, it's retarded. And then they show him unseen where his feet look like they're destroyed, but yeah, he puts back on his shoes. No medicine, no nothing. Unless it's that the character that's played by the dude from Walking Dead, I forget his name. Remus? Reedus? No, Norman Reedus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, unless his character's an android, and that's one of the oh my god moments for the game, because it just don't make no sense as far as the gameplay. The combat looks really sluggish, looks really slow, like the same style as Metal Gear. The way they move kind of robotic and not realistic. So for those excited for good for y'all, for me personally, I know for you guys, not really excited. Will I try and play it? More than likely, yes, because I always try all games. If at least I'll look at it and try to see if it piques my interest or if it catches some type of interest. Because I'm not those type of people that go, this ass, and I'm not just going to try it. I don't do that. As a gamer, it's in me and it itches me, and I want to try it. That's just the way I am. But I think it's not going to do as good as people think. And yes, it's definitely very weird, very out there. A lot of symbolisms of crazy, even homosexual stuff or transsexual stuff. It's a weird game. I don't think it's going to be received very well with the user base, the way they think. But I think critically because of the narrative, especially because Konami kind of gave him a kick in the butt and didn't want to help him because supposedly he wanted to do the game for Konami, quote unquote. So they're going to be like, yeah, here. That's what you get for letting him go.
I feel like maybe now
regret it, you know what I mean?
he came up with this game, and I feel like they was like, nah, you don't even know what the game is about. You just throwing anything and saying it's trans. Like this dude is not even in touch with the game. He's not even in touch with the game that's going on now. Like it's true. The Western developers are way ahead of Japanese developers, bro. And this is clearly you can see this. But Kojima's a big name. But anyway, Eva, what do you think about Game Pass?
Well,
me and Hunter was touching upon
one more thing before I talk about Game Pass. One more thing. You got to remember, too, that Kojima has always took at least 5, 6 to 7 years to finish every Metal Gear game he did. Which also gives me to believe and suspect that he's being rushed. And that's why he doesn't know where the story he wants it to go and can give you full details. And that's why he's saying he doesn't really know where it goes yet or what it is. Because he's trying to figure it out in his mind. Because that's how writers are. When they write, it takes them years and years and years to write a whole story. It takes them time. And that's part of the process because he's a writer and he has a movie director type of style in his mind and the way he does things. And he brought that over to the game development. And that's why it usually takes so long. And I think that's another reason as far as that goes. So as far as Game Pass, what exactly you mean? What do I think of Game Pass? What do you mean?
You know how they said it was $1 to $2, and right now, actually, before I get into that, I just wanted to say, like, you know how people was like, yo, Aaron Greenberg came out of nowhere and said, thanks to all of you, Gears 5 reached 3 million players in opening weekend, making it our biggest launch for any Xbox Game Studios game this generation, right? Mm-hmm. Now, when you do the math, everybody thinks it's $1 to $2. There was people already in Game Pass that was paying the $10. And then you got people when they came out saying the $15 for the Ultimate Edition or whatever, that you could be on PC, have it on the Xbox, all combined in one before this dollar and $2 joint popped off with the Gears of War. Am I right? So now if you paying $15, let's just say 1 million subscribers to that Game Pass, nobody backed out, everybody got it for a whole year. They pulling like $180 billion or $180 million, bro. Off of that alone.
So you're basically trying to ask me, what do I think as far as people saying that the Game Pass is not really going to make them revenue? Is that what you mean?
Exactly. People think that just because Gears of War came out, it didn't sell. And anyway, that was only a UK site I heard, but it was not even a big, not even all around. That wasn't even that all around.
Well,
but
I mean, look at
people think Game Pass is a failure, bro. And no, it's not. When you really
I'm gonna give you a perfect example why Game Pass makes complete sense. Look at what happened so far as we know, with the game Control. Supposedly Control didn't sell at all. It didn't even make the MPD charts in the US. Okay? Game that went multi-plat, that everybody was saying, oh, it's going to do better because it's going to be multi-plat. Remedies needed to be multi-plat. When they started multi-plat with Max Payne on PC, then they sold the rights to Rockstar, and then Rockstar made it multi-plat for consoles, okay? For the dummies that don't know any better. Then Microsoft basically gave them all the time they needed and funded them and supported them and helped them build both their engines for Alan Wake and the Northlight for Quantum Break, which they also used for Control. And they took all the time they needed, and Microsoft just did nothing but support them, and gave them the fundings, right? So those games exist, including Control, thanks to Microsoft's money and patience and belief in the company and in the developer, right?
Yeah.
And now the game came out, and all that that talking, all that rhetoric. Oh yeah, it's gonna sell now. Watch, all the cats and PS4 are gonna buy it. They're gonna support. They're gonna show you X twats that you guys don't buy games. 100 could attest the game didn't sell, right? And I think it sold even more on Xbox than it did on PlayStation. Okay, because it has a fan base, right? I think it would have sold more on the Xbox side had they not gone multi-plat, because I think a lot of Xbox dudes see and feel that as them being kind of traitorous, because look at people like Insomniac and people like Naughty Dog, right? Or Guerrilla Games. They never were owned by Sony, but they always made sure that they stayed by Sony's side with their products. Okay? The only time they did something for Xbox was with Sunset in the case of Insomniac, because Sony said, no, we don't want those type of kiddie games. We want photoreal, and we want ownership of the IP. And they said no, because we want ownership. And the only people that get them free reign and gave them that freedom was Microsoft, right? Because Ted Price was very vocal about it. We're in a great place. We don't want to be owned. We want to own all our future IPs. And as you saw, that was a bunch of malarkey. As soon as they got that opportunity with Spider-Man that may put them in that clout value, Sony was like, okay, let's buy them. And after we buy them, we'll try to make the deal with Disney. And if Disney, since they already love the way that Insomniac did the game, it's going to force them to keep the game exclusive on PlayStation 4. It was a power move, trying to do a squeeze play, and it didn't work. Okay? It didn't work. And the reason why I know is because as soon as they announced that,
I heard. Now, I heard that Insomniac is working on another Spider-Man game.
Nobody's
on the work of that.
Nobody. They just said that obviously because of the success that it did well for any video game that's concerned based off superheroes other than Batman. It was the most successful, right? That they were going to do the sequel, but that had to do with the deal between the movie rights that Sony has with Disney for the MCU, and obviously the video games with Marvel Game Studios, because Disney doesn't want to have game studios, but they're willing to outsource all their properties and IPs to different developers, right? That's what they said. They've been very vocal about it. So Sony figured, okay, we buy them. They don't have no choice because they're owned by us. And they're owned by us. The Spider-Man games got to stay exclusive. And the whole time, Sony said this was just a one-game deal. The people at Disney, Marvel Games, and I've been told people, and all I got from people is, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Of course I don't. Yet this is what happened. So It is a possibility that they're still doing the sequel, right? And I know this is completely detract from what we're talking about with Game Pass, but believe me, it'll connect after I finish saying what I'm saying. It is a possibility that they're still doing the sequel, right? But more
Yeah.
than likely, if it is a sequel and if it does stay exclusive just to PlayStation console, right? Whether it's PS4, PS5, whatever, or it is a cross-generational platform, console title, um, then it's because they were already, contracts in play that they signed, and they have to adhere. Okay, keyword adhere to those contracts. Kind of like with Microsoft, that they bought Obsidian, they bought Hellblade, Ninja Blade, Ninja Theory, and all these other people, like the ones doing the Outer Wild and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and they're letting them put their games on the other consoles that were supposed to come out, like the PS4, like the Switch, like PC, because those contracts were put in place before they made the deal and bought them, and they owned them as developers, like in-house developers. Anything after those games release, they're going to be strictly exclusive. And I think that's part of the reason why Microsoft made the announcement that they will no longer put any more games on any other platform, especially after Moon Studios went to them and they helped Moon Studios with Ori. They paid for everything, but Moon Studios went to them after they saw that they let Studio MDHR or whatever making games put Cuphead on Switch. Can we please put Ori on Switch? Because it makes sense for the Switch. And they realized that because they own the IP of Ori. They don't own Moon. But with Cuphead, they didn't own the developer or the IP. It was just, I guess, verbal agreement that Cuphead would be a lifetime exclusive on the Xbox console. But because they didn't own them, they saw that the game kind of plateaued. They told them, you want to put it on Switch? And they did. Because the Switch is like the kind of like the ideal place to put those 2D platformers. Because they're doing well. Because they don't have big AAAs. So those are the fillers that people keep buying. So anyway, so if there is a sequel and it's exclusive, it's because those contracts were in place before they got bought by Insomniac, got bought by Sony. That's the only way I can see it happening, and it makes sense, But anything to the future, like that Avengers game, it's a whole different story. That's going to be multiplayer. I wouldn't be surprised if that does and breaks all types of records because Xbox dudes are going to buy the game. The game looks great. Plus, it's a Marvel, themed game that we don't get a lot of that are high quality like that. Those are the people that did Tomb Raider, so it's gonna be a banger. So anyway, as far as Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
Control is the perfect example because Control, had it been in something like Game Pass, it would have brought people more in to buy the game or at least play it. And once they saw the quality of the game, they would have bought it because it happened when they put Sunset on there. Even though it was old, it happened with Rise. It happened with the Killer Instincts. It happened with Quantum Break. Almost every exclusive that people said were trash, once it was on Game Pass, right? That motherfuckers went out and bought it and played it on Game Pass. They got a second win, and people went out and bought it. It got an awareness. That's the whole point of Game Pass. Not only to give options to the consumer, but to bring awareness to games that might not have gotten bought. Like, for example, if you want to play Bloodstain, you got to pay $60 on a Switch, and it's the worst version. And on the PS4, you got to pay $60 or $40, $50, whatever it is, to play on the PS4. On Xbox, it's on Game Pass now. You could just play it on Game Pass. And you still have the option that if you want to buy it, you can. And you could buy it with a 20% discount on top of that to put icing on the cake, right? On top of the cake. So even if Microsoft did the $2 sale, that's only for a buy-in for like a couple of months or for like a month or two. After that, it goes right into the $10 a month. And like 100 was saying when I bumped in, most people, including myself, we don't pay attention to the subscription. We just let it re-renew. So they keep making money. And Netflix, I don't use Netflix. And the way that I've been paying for the last 7 years now, there's no way in hell that I've watched enough content based on what I pay monthly for Netflix. And I pay $25 because I get CDs and DVDs, Blu-rays in the mail as well, because there's some movies they don't put on stream. You could only get them on disc. That's why I have that option, right?
I do have Netflix too.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of the mindset too. A lot of people are just going to be like, they'd rather just have it renewed, so they know they have access to their games 24/7, 120, 365 days a year. Don't really care if they're paying 120 a year. That's because that's really two games in long term. If you buy it in the store, right? Instead of just doing the 120 for the year, and you got access to at least they're gonna play at least 50 games in that year for 120 and beat them. You see what I'm trying to say? So it's gonna make money, dude. You put $10 for 10 million people that there supposedly are now in Game Pass. You do the math. How much money is? It's almost damn near 500 million or some shit like that, right?
It's a lot of money, but
It's a lot of money.
a
Think
lot,
about that.
bro. Better than, and it's believe it or not, the game could sell $60, bro. And
Hmm.
you're not gonna get that amount of money. The
But
day-
you remember that Game Pass don't have only the $60 games. Only the Xbox exclusives are there. They could afford to do that because they got money. They could afford to do that and make it more enticing, which it is. Because look at Death Stranding. Another reason why it's not going to do a lot of high numbers is because a lot of people ain't going to have the money to buy it for $60, and they're not going to want to take the risk because the game is weird or not appealing to them or it looks too, different. So if they're not gonna go. Oh, I'm gonna pay for. They're gonna wait until they get the feedback from, obviously stupid ass Metacritic, which is dog shit, from all these YouTubers and influencers that they love to follow, like Angry Joe and Rich Review Tech, which those guys, they do anything for clicks, including others that we know. You know what I'm saying? That just care about the clicks. They don't care about being honest to their audience, which is what every YouTuber should worry about first. You are honest with your audience, you're going to get the clicks, you're going to get the subscribers. But it's a matter of people putting the word out and saying, yo, this guy is reliable, he's honest. And that's the problem. They don't push people like 100, like you, like me, because we say honest things. We say the truth about what's going on, and they don't want to hear that because then that'll kill their narrative of shitting on Xbox or hating on something that's Microsoft related. And that is the whole reasoning and ideal for it. So Game Pass is the most consumer friendly option there is right now, period, hands down. And the fact that it's games being completely played off a server instead of stream makes it even more appealing because you're never going to get lag. You're never going to get download speed time problems. You're never going to get probably get kicked out. The game always works because it's running off of dedicated servers. Okay. Azure service to be exact from Xbox. Okay. So they see it as the profits. And plus, we're not going to see it. So it's not going to matter. So what they do is they pay these people up front, like a game like Blair Witch. Look, I bet you a lot of people haven't played it, and it's on Game Pass. I guarantee you, if that game would have came out physical, and that you bought it, and it wasn't on Game Pass, it would have done even worse, because it's not a game for everybody. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Not everybody likes horror games or survival horror games. ¿Entiende? So that game right there, the only thing that's helping it is Game Pass, because as long as it's there, people are going to discover it through the next couple of months or maybe the next year, and it's going to get more flow, and people are going to buy into it once they see if it's good or not.
Okay.
Right now, maybe not so because it has a little bit of glitches like frame rate issues, and so they try to point that out. But the game itself is solid, it has quality, and people are actually enjoying it. It has a lot to offer, even at a $30 price point if you buy the game, which we did. I think we paid 24 because we got it in the sale. You understand? So,
Yeah.
Game Pass is definitely not a failure. You know what I mean? Like, anybody say that is either just trolling, they're just hating, or they don't really know how business works. That's my thought on the Game Pass situation.
All right. Sega Man, what's up, my brother? I got it on the screen, guys. Can y'all see that?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What's
Sega
up,
Man,
my bro?
What's going on,
Hey,
my bro?
Sega Man. Yeah, we can see that. I can see that. Oh, it looks cool. It looks cool the way it comes up.
Oh, he got somebody here. I don't know who's this. I'm gonna put it up.
Oh, that's one of my jokers.
Oh, hey, Heba, baby. Oh, you're so sweet. I love my fans. They look so homosexual every time they come on.
What's up?
Love it.
Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by, hearing us out, man. It's been a while. Me and the team, Hunted, Hebot, you know how it is. It's been a while.
Yes, sir.
What's up, my brother? But yeah, guys, man, what do y'all think about Gears of War, man?
Oh,
Gears
honey,
no
go
more.
first. Honey, go
Yeah,
first.
honey, do your thing, honey.
Man, that shit is a motherfucking masterpiece. Uh, whew. The campaign on its own is off the chain. You're gonna have to make decisions. That's going, man. Um, I like how they implemented. They have the old characters, but they gave the new characters that shine. Like it wasn't about what I'm saying, Marcus and them. Marcus and them involved, but it's not involved like you think it is. Um, the enemies, the AI jump. They flank your ass. The different what man, the new Lancer. Oh Lord, the new. I call that shit the new shocking eye. But that shit was like when we was hitting Baghdad over. You know what I'm saying? We was hitting Saddam Hussein when you saw them missiles. You pull that damn thing, man. The different kind of missiles. The multiplayer now. Ghost is good at the multiplayer. He's good at the shotgun shit. But I think I'm getting pretty good at the arcade. I'll be airing motherfuckers out.
That's right. Yeah,
I love arcade. I play arcade. I haven't played arcade in the last few days because I've been trying to get through this Borderlands shit. But I used to play arcade at least once or twice a night. And just go in, have fun. I love the elements where you on the snow level, you can shoot out the ice. I'm like, don't walk your ass over here. And you thinking they gonna shoot me because they didn't bought themselves a Lancer? Man, fuck your Lancer. Boop, boop, boop. Have them drown in that ice. To me, that's some cool shit. All the escape is cool. Escape is a different mode where you play with characters you ain't never played with, or if you can play with them. Like I play my character, I can play with. I play with one of the Halo guy. Can't think of his name because I'm tired. But he dead in real life. But how they even implemented Halo characters, the Terminator characters.
Yeah.
How they implement it. You got Batista now.
Yeah.
You and they gave this shit all to you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is a total package right here. Now you have to think about Gears. That is a straight up single player game, right? I mean, a Xbox exclusive, right? That and PC. It did 3 million in 2 weeks. Borderlands did 5 in 3 days, and that's a multi-plat.
Yeah.
So you got to give Gears some credit. People have been playing Gears.
Yeah, a lot of my friends on my friends list got Gears and they playing.
We want to play. We want to play through it again on another level. Want to play Gears again. Like crank it all the way up, and we go co-op. See, thing about it is we co-op around here in the Xbox world. In the Xbox world, we co-op. We like to play with each other. We like to hang out in parties, pop shit, all this other stuff. They with the one and dones. This is not a one and done. Microsoft don't make one and dones. People say, well, nobody don't want the exclusive. Why are people still playing State of Decay? State of Decay just added some new shit today where you be able to really kind of design your own character. Clothes, hats. You get new stuff that's on Sea of Thieves. Them games got legs. Who's playing God of War? Not saying God of War wasn't a good game, but who's still playing it? Even though that you fought the same boss over and over. Oh, Gears boss battles is crazy.
Yeah, I heard.
Boss battles is crazy. The action, it looked like it knew how to pace the action. It knew how to balance out the action. To me, that's cool.
Yeah, man. Definitely, honey. I when I'm on and I'm playing Gears, I always see you on. And 9 out of 10, you on Gears. And I think you're playing Borderlands now. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm on Borderlands. I'm trying to get through. Because Borderlands ain't gonna beat. Like I had to beat Gears before I played Borderlands, and I forgot Borderlands came out that Friday.
I ain't get the game yet, so I don't know because you hear a lot of different things. So
Borderlands is like I can help you out in Borderlands. I can come jump in your game at any time. I also can give you weapons.
Oh, that's cool.
I was giving Mega weapons, and he didn't have to even be online. long as he had the game, I could start throwing you weapons that you probably can't use until a little bit till you level up, but you got some hitters.
Oh, so that's just like the Assassin's Creed Black Flag. You
Mhm.
ain't have to, if you and me and you was on the same crew or something, while you offline and I'm delivering stuff with my ship and going to war, I could send you things to your ship.
Yeah, 'cause you didn't have to be online or no. I just need to see your I just need to see your stuff, and then you was on.
Yeah. So basically, Hunted, for me, y'all can go if y'all want. You could go to my YouTube channel. I'm doing like a playthrough, a walkthrough. I did like 3 chapters so far on Gears, and I still got more to play. But so far on Gears, for what I've seen and I played on campaign, I'm loving the way they did this Gears of War. It's better than 4, in my honest opinion. I think by far this is like the best you can say Gears, in my opinion. Meaning that I'm loving the way these we get attacked, ambushed. It's like these AIs are coming at you different. They coming at you to take you out, and it's like it's not easy. I don't play a game. I don't play a game on easy mode. I play it on hard. I tried to play it on hard because I want to get the better experience out of it. I don't want them walking me with a hand. You know what I mean? Through a game. For people that do that, I don't know. I can't do that. I like playing and having a great experience and having a, like competition. Like I need something tough to stop me. I don't want to brap and they go down. But anyway, guys, just the campaign period, man, with JD Phoenix and the crew running through. I like the part where Coltrane was like, "I'll be back." They're like, "Where you going?" They shooting it out with that big monster. He come through with that bike, jump, throw it right in his mouth. And you blow that up, boom, when you kill him, it's like, man, I also enjoyed, besides multiplayer, I did enjoy the game Escape. I played yesterday and I actually passed. I died a couple of times. But it was me, Cyberwolf, and a guy named Violent I met. He's 17. The kid is dope on Gears. He official. I'll give him props. And I play on multiplayer 9 out of 10 of me playing Gears. I'm on multiplayer. So 9 out of 10, I'm by myself. So I'm running with randoms. And I do get
You cut out. You cut out, Ghost.
You cut out.
Ghost, you cut
and I'm
out.
going for the
There you go.
hello, you hear
Ghost,
me? Yeah,
Ghost, repeat it. Repeat what you were saying because you cut out.
yeah.
You cut off what you were saying you were playing with randoms.
I was playing with randoms on Gears, and what I do hate with Gears on with randoms is they don't go for the objective. Meaning King of the Hill, they don't want to go and fight it out. They want to stay behind, get no caps and no breaks, and just shoot. You're not helping me if I'm fighting 3 or 4 dudes in King of the Hill, and you trying to get kills, and I'm trying to take over. So as you lose rank. You understand? You lose points and all that, and you go down. So I've been losing. Plus, my wall bouncing got a little more better. I'm getting, yo, man, just put it this way, man. Asylum with the trains is fire, man. This Gears of War, man, is the best Gears of Wars by far that I played. And I'm addicted to multiplayer. If niggas want to shoot it out, we can shoot it out. Lancer to Lancer, Nasher to Nasher, nigga, we could get it in. Your boy Ghost ain't scared of no podcast. You already know. I'm in there shooting. But anyway, I'm call me the lone wolf, nigga, because I'm on my own, boy. I'm out there. You see me, gun clap at me, boy, because I'm a wall bounce and blow your fucking head off. But that's it. Gears is the shit. All I got to say is I'm hyped and I enjoyed it. I actually got the game. I bought the Ultimate Edition. I got it. And if you want, you can check my Twitter on that. I also got the console that I bought, came with the game, digital, and I do got Game Pass. So actually, I got 3 versions of it. And I'm saying this is a must-have. If you're an Xbox guy out there, this is a game you must have. This is a game that took advantage of 4K 60 frames majority of the time, and the graphics on here is dope. This is what Xbox needed, and it's got a 85.
I don't believe that Metacritic. I don't fuck with Metacritic. Metacritic is a fucking joke.
Man, I was kind of upset on it, but hey, it is what it is.
You can't get upset. You can't get upset because it's not real journalism anymore.
Yeah,
you
we
had,
got hit.
You had somebody call. Like you had somebody gave it a 1. And said everything. It didn't make no sense, and that bring down. See, Metacritic don't police their people. Anybody can write anything.
The Metacritic part, yeah.
They don't,
because the user base they'll keep an eye out because they did it with Astral Chain and obviously they did it with freaking Uncharted, but the Metacritic part of it is what they don't take and police and keep control on it, and put a check on certain things.
And then I was told, well, some developers get a bonus off of the Metacritic score. I said, and I ended up telling. I think I was at E3 and we was talking about it, and I think I told
that's good, Mr.
The developer, and I told the developer, and I said, "You stupid as fuck."
Right.
Put that in your contract. That just I ain't gonna cuss on a podcast.
Right.
Can't happen.
Yeah, man. So, I tell you this, man. Like they trying to hate in the comment section. They trying to hate, man. And all I say is this, man. What do you got on PlayStation right now, man? Like, you ain't got none and y'all been dry. So, for you in the comment section, I just answered you. You're dry, brother. You're dry right now and you're trying to hate on our greatness.
Well, I'll talk when I say my
do your thing. Do your thing. I already said my thoughts.
Finish.
I've been enjoying Gears. No, brother. Go ahead. Do your thing. I just was watching the comment section on these bozos. You already know. But
no. I wanted. Yeah, so I said what's up to Mr. Keith. No, I wanted you and Bone to go first. I usually get long-winded and take long what I say. That's why.
Oh yeah, but the gunplay, the gun action, man, the executions on this game is dope. Just everything, bro. The physics, the light textures, everything, bro, on this game is on point. This game is one of the best games. It could be a contender for Game of the Year, man. This Gears of War.
Well, look. I'll segue into my thoughts with what you just said to elaborate on what you just said and why you're saying that. Look, Gears of War 5 is basically another surprise that we didn't really see coming. And what I mean by that is, how we played Crackdown 3 for the first time, and most people were like, oh, it's going to be just same old Crackdown. And then when you actually played the game, you realize, because I know you haven't really played it, had the chance to play it, particularly Ghost, but I know 100 did and I did. I beat the game. And I played the first two, and I can honestly tell you that it's tenfold better than the originals. And they added a lot of cool features after that, like a rocket launcher and some other cool shit.
Oh, man.
So I enjoyed every minute of it. It was super fun. I had more fun with it than I thought I was going to have. And the game was so well done. It felt polished. It felt clean. Gears is the same thing because most people felt that it was going to be just an extension of what Gears 4 did, which wasn't bad at all. Gears 4 is a very good game, more underrated than I think it should be or deserves to be. But you can feel based off what you play in 5 that it was constricted. It was like Rod Ferguson said, it felt safe is the word he used, and I think those were the appropriate words because once you play Gears 5, it feels like the transition and jump and leap that you felt from Halo 3 to Halo 4. You get what I'm trying to say? It's like you were like, wait, this is Halo? Like you didn't expect it to be that much different and yet be that much the same. And Gears, like the choice, right? You guys know what I mean or know what I mean. I know 100 does. You don't know yet, Ghost, so I'm not going to spoil it for anybody anyway, regardless. But the choice has to be the most thought-provoking moment in gaming history. Okay? Because it's very not only disturbing, emotional, but it gets you angry. It's frustrating because it's something that you was never really been presented before in a regular game. Not like the way they do it in Gears 5. You know what I'm talking about, right, Andre?
You only got a certain time, the time limit to do it. Too.
Yeah.
And you have to
Plus, what it is, because Ghost hasn't finished the story, so I don't want to spoil it for anybody in the comments either, because we're not
I'm
those
gonna
type
do my
of dudes.
walkthroughs. What I'm doing is I'm enjoying it, and I'm trying to do the walkthrough where my subscribers can understand and go through it with me. As I beat it, I've been on multiplayer. I ain't gonna lie, I'm addicted. I'm already prestige. I'm trying to go to another prestige right now. I'm just on it, bro. I'm on my killing.
Well, look, right. Well, look, the way they structured it is 4 acts. 2 acts are done traditional. The first act and the 4 acts, they're done traditional, level based, more straight to the point, very heavy on visuals and craziness. Like they're great. The last act alone is retarded. It's crazy. Then, in the first act, but the 2 middle acts, they implemented this open world feel type element that was introduced in games like Tomb Raider, the reboot. And also what they did with the new God of War, where it gives you the ability to move around in the land and search for stuff, discover hidden areas, and acquire these different things by doing the side missions, the secondary missions, and the main missions. But when you do them, is to evoke all your new abilities that you have now with Jax. Because to be honest, Jax is the undercover like the big dog in the game, Jax in this game. The cyborg. Because when you discover what you can do with him as you're going along, it gives it almost this element of RPG style, where you get these attributes and abilities that you probably wouldn't have thought would have worked on Gears, but the way they implement it, it works really, really well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hell yeah. Jack, you could do a lot of shit with him. You could take over other people. You could do a lot of things.
He's like the star of the game, to be honest with you. And they do like a small skill tree. But every time you do those secondary missions, the more you do, the more surprises you actually get with Jax. That you're like, oh, snap. I didn't know you could do that. And once you acquire all his abilities, the game, he's basically makes you OP. Like you could run through shit. Even though the difficulty does rank up, don't get me wrong, but it just gives you more reign and freedom because they did it so well. You know what I mean? And he does so many cool things. Then, obviously, they give you the skill trees, the attributes to give you an RPG element, the open world elements. They still keep traditional things like mechs and turrets. Obviously, Gears has always been known for introducing brand new weapons. Like Hunter said, the GL Lancer is the fucking truth. Not only does it feel super solid, but it has secondary weapon ability that it has. It's like basically like having airstrike, and this shit is fire. Like it's really, really, really nice. They have another one that is like it's like an assault rifle version for the drones. That the machine gun looks like it has teeth around it, and that's
called a claw.
Right, the claw. Yeah, it's a body armor piercer. When you fight the drones that have the heavy armor later on, and you use that, this shit destroys them. The bullets is super strong on it.
It goes
right, and it's powerful. Like the bullets that it shoots out are strong.
It's like the RPG gun.
Yeah, strong.
And very strong.
But it gets out of control too. You got to know how to control it.
The boss battles, like in the traditional Gears, even from the first one, there's like 4 main ones, and then one in every chapter. I've done really well. Over the top, crazy. They've done really well, right? Then another thing they did, like when you get the relic weapons, which is a secondary version of every weapon, those shits, like the Retro Lancer, is the truth. They shoot out these rockets that be ripping people. Like it's real OP. The Talon one, dope ass new handgun. The Talon minigun, Uzi little minigun, awesome. The fact that you could play the game, obviously in 3-player co-op, but in this one you use Jack. You can control the bad guys and use them against themselves or turn them against themselves. You can he can open doors, open locks to give them the components that he needs to upgrade himself to make him stronger, to give you more abilities. the implementation of more cinematic moments where you control it. Years in the past, this kind of started with four, and it did it in three too, but it started more with four in the style of like the way they use it in Tomb Raider, the way they used it in Uncharted, where it has cinematic moments where you actually control them. In this game, they added a lot more of that, and not just you watching the cinematics, even though it has those in there. But now they use in-game cinematics. In other words, the in-game engine and the graphic engine to present to you those cinematics, as opposed to using a full motion video compressed with the in-game engine, but it's still you can tell that it's a film and not in-game graphics. So it kind of took you off the immersional feel sometimes when it did the transition from game to actual, and cutscenes and story. And this one it doesn't do that. Um, the actual AI, these dudes are way smarter, way more strategical. They, like Hundred said, they flank you right back.
Yeah.
They run after you, even the big dudes. Like there's some big dudes. There's one called the General. I forget the name of the guy right here. What's his name again? The one with the big hammer, 100 with the.
Oh yeah. The Warden.
The Warren.
Yeah,
Warren. That Warren is huge, but he'll run after you. He's
got to
super
take his
fast.
helmet off.
And, yeah, but he'll still rock you
for the head.
because
Yeah.
not only is he strong, he runs after you.
Yeah.
And you never really seen that before in the Gears. Not with the big dudes. The big dudes even pose a super threat in this shit.
That hammer. If you pick up his hammer, his hammer's one shot. It's like his hammer, one shot.
OP.
Kill.
Yeah, it's like OP. Yeah. They also gave you environmental movements where you could use certain parts of the environments where you throw things down and use it as cover. They also implemented, the 4K presentation is immaculate. When you play this thing on a 4K TV that supports, that's high end, that supports full HDR with 4,000 nits and the Dolby Atmos 4K sound, and then you got the 60 frames per second presentation, even on the cutscenes. There is nothing out there in the market on any console that even comes close. Doesn't touch it. Not no God of War, not no Uncharted, not no Spider-Man, not no fucking Zelda. None of that shit. It just doesn't come close. Okay, and there's nothing like it. The game looks incredible. It even has some touches and implementations of ray tracing in the game. Okay, like in the foreground and the background, some of the things that they use and techniques are ray tracing techniques, because I think it's going to be full on ray tracing for the Scarlet when you play it on the Scarlet. Okay, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a big thing they use for the next Gears, right? Not only that, they took these crazy ass risks and did some stuff that you wouldn't even think they would have even dared to do, especially this early in the journey with these newer characters. But like 100 pointed out earlier, he was 100% right. This game is more about the new guys, Dell, Kate, obviously Foz, even Baird, the new Jax, and obviously JD. Marcus is in the game, and he has a very strong presence, very strong parts, but it's very different, the approach. You hear him more through the voice and talking through the comm.
They also showing you, I don't mean to cut you off, but they
No.
They also showing you in the game what storyline that JD go through where he made a mistake and they shot up innocent people.
It's kind of personal, intimate. Yeah, and you get
to see what JD about. Everybody got a story in this. It's everything's combined and everything as from part one to now. You get all of that information, and it boils down to this. So you getting to understand these characters more better, basically, in this game.
Well, it definitely keeps in the tradition of the original first Gears trilogy, because when you play one and then you play two, what they do in two is so drastic and so emotional and dramatic and powerful that you can't help but to fall in love again with the characters, the world. And in this game, they're doing the same thing again. After people are like, "Oh, Gears is dead," It's not this, it's not that. Even though that I never felt that because the game is still very, very, very young. It's been out as long as Uncharted, and you know what I mean. So um, it's like you right now. I can't wait what happens to see in part six because I just beat it today. I finished it, um, and like I said, all the different new mechanics, the fact that they open up the world more to make it feel like an open world. Yes, you can't go to every little tiny little crevice that you see that looks like a passageway in the open world. You can't. But that's why a game keeps a pristine visual look, all the stuff going on, like the battles,
For people
the weather
nitpicking on
effects,
that,
the lighting, the war, the NPCs, the explosions. That's to keep a high level of fidelity with the high frame rate. So I can appreciate that not being, you not being able to do it because in God of War, you can walk up to a rock and a tree, you could hit it with the axe or the sword, and it won't cut it. You don't even see a scratch. It's all part of the process. If a game looks visually more enticing, I think even Rise was like that. You can't destroy everything, but
I
then
was
there's some
gonna tell you
areas.
that.
Yeah, but then you go in some areas, like there's a part in the beginning in the first level where you go into like a ballroom where there's balloons, there's beautiful glass cups and glasses, and you can shoot all those glasses and the balloons even. You understand what I'm saying? You know, the fact that they implemented stealth missions. This one introduces stealth and gears. You understand what I'm saying? Which we never had before. They really did their thing. To be honest, the coalition, I think, deserves all the praises they're getting. You can tell with Gears 5 that they were out to prove something to the Gears community, to the fans, to the naysayers, obviously to the haters, to the media that's always trolling Xbox, and the people that doubt in their talent and what they were able to do. You know what I'm saying? It's almost scary because if you see this game from where it wasn't forward to now, it's almost like it's two different studios. It almost feels like because the leap is so much more bigger and drastic. You're like, is this really this studio? Because remember, Coalition is new. They were working on that game from Black Tusk when that's what that was their original name. With the espionage. I forgot what the name of the game was. Shanghai Heist. That's what it was originally called. And then they made the choice to do Gears once Rod came in, and they decided to change their name to Coalition to unify it as they're the Gears of War heads and talent, or the guys who make the Gears games.
Yeah.
They made that choice, right?
Mhm.
They made that choice. They wanted that. And for developers that are still young and in their infancies, what they achieved with Gears 5 is pretty spectacular and actually kind of scary because imagine what they're going to be able to do with Scarlet with more time, more resources, more money, more developers and manpower. If they were able to do this with what they have right now, and this just being their second game, they don't have no other games before this one. Remember that. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a lot of young talent that's fresh, that's thirsty, and that wants to make a name for themselves. And you can tell when you're playing the game. Obviously, with the mentorism of the older heads like Rod, the top dogs that know what they're doing. But I think they deserve the praises that they're getting. I would call this game of the year, to be honest with you, with what I played so far. Even though I still want to play the Jedi game, even though there's still games like the Call of Duty, I want to finish Control, but from what I played so far this year and what I've seen, this is definitely a game of the year contender. I don't see why it shouldn't. And if it won it, I think even if it was in the runnings with other bigger games and it say it won it, I think it would be deserving of it and nobody should be upset about it. Nobody
Yeah.
should be mad about it and trolling because the game speaks for itself. You sit down and the minute you start playing it, you know you're in for something different and special and top of the line and pretty much a sneak peek to next generational accomplishments
Yeah.
because this is showing how much more advanced next gen is going to be and where we're going to get at. This is running on the X and it looks like it's pushing the X hard because there's certain things that look like it might freeze or even tweak out because it's running the game hard. It has a lot of close-up shots, cinematic shots, the fidelity of the graphics on all the character models, the little intricate details on the robots. Oh, another cool thing they added was how they put the fact that you can pick. Now that the DBs in this one are no longer your enemies, they're actually your friends, and Bear's the one who actually created them, as you find out in 4. You can choose to have them do a loadout where they send them out and they come and help you,
Yep.
or with those robots, which is another nice new cool little feature, which is part of the choice, quote unquote, choice feature, which they also use later on for a more dramatic effect in the story, gameplay, and in the game world itself. I think it deserves to be called a masterpiece. To be honest,
Yeah.
I think it's a fair assessment. 100 said it's a masterpiece. A lot of people have said it so far. I think it's fair. I think it's deserving. Will people out there have mixed feelings because it's different? Yes, absolutely. Because I was one of them. I had mixed feelings. It was a little different at first, but once I started seeing the mechanics and got the hang of it, I was like, "Oh, this! I see what they went for, and it makes sense, and it feels right." And now I think it's the best Gears probably ever made, in my opinion. I think it's fantastic. Alongside 1 and 3, obviously, but this for me is the best one.
Yeah.
And I think everybody owes it to themselves to go out and play it,
Yeah.
because if you don't do it, you're gonna do a disservice to yourself. If you haven't played 4 because you listen to the stupid shit, go play it because 4 is really good. Do yourself the favor and then go play 5 because you will not be disappointed.
Yeah. The
I
comments
don't think so.
down on the comments section, I just want to show some stuff. See what these people got to say. Sup, Hunted, Ghost, and Hebot, those
Hey.
quitters in escape quarters and escape room killing me. Guess it's not for the FSNIT of heart.
The faint of heart. Right.
Well, what's up, my brother? Shout outs to you. We also got a
that's
guy, L the Ace. He had put this up. Gears 5 is better than everything on PlayStation. Facts.
Well, it's definitely more technical advanced than anything you see, and that's not a troll or trying to be stupid. That is a fact. There's nothing on PlayStation technically that's superior and as high quality as Gears of War, and I don't mean that as a pop shot. It's just when you play the game, you'll understand why we're saying that, especially at the high fidelity, whether with the 4K, the 60 frames, the Dolby Atmos, the HDR. It's on another level. It's something that you're like, wow, what the fuck am I looking at? It's really special. It's really spectacular.
Gears is on another level for sure. We got Phase 114.
But yeah, that's a Puerto Rican brother, Ricardo Vaz.
Generation of Gears games.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, my brother. I've been enjoying it. My crew been enjoying it. We all been doing our thing, my brother. Also, we got this one right here. Bow. Once again, Dakota. The reflections are crazy. That adds to the tension. Yes, sir.
The lighting is spectacular. That ray tracing little implementation they did, it's wild. It's wild. Especially in the sand level. When you go into certain areas where the sun sand light hits through the little crevices and holes when you're like underground in the factory. Oh my lord, it should look crazy. It look like you're looking at the sun in real life when you go outside. It look crazy.
But I love too.
Spectacular.
Well, how they utilize the ice. When you crack the ice and you run, you freeze into your body. You break down and you on
He
multiplayer.
said, is anybody watching Lara Croft, The Croft of Us 2 tomorrow evening in the event? I think that was.
Oh
Yeah, of course we are. Of course we are.
We gamers. We got to check out what was coming out on the PlayStation.
Yeah, of course. And I want it to be where it's worth my time, because if it's the same thing all over again, I'm gonna be mad. Because I hated 1 because it felt boring.
I mean, I'm gonna put it to the PlayStation dudes out there like this. I'm gonna tell you like this. This game better look good. It's gonna look good. It better be good because I'm tired.
Yeah, but good looks is not gonna carry it only. It needs to have something new and fresh.
Yeah. This is the thing. Everybody bashed Gears of War, certain games, but now I want to see something new. I don't want to see the same thing that they was doing in part 1.
Right.
I don't want to see that. I want to see something different. Like they try to do on Gears, like our games get bashed. I want to see something different that they ain't already do.
Right.
You understand? So I'm gonna just leave it like this. It's about time, PlayStation dudes, that you might get a game that's dope as hell, meaning that y'all had a remaster that y'all was throwing at us all generation. Finally, you're getting the game. This is not a crossover game, or it's a remaster game that y'all was putting on your list.
Right, right.
That used to make us laugh. That's why
Yeah,
it's called the remaster station. But
yeah.
anyway, it is what it is, man. Like
And
hopefully
I
the game
want to
is a
sneak.
great game, man.
I want to
Hey
sneak
man,
one
I'm gonna
little
have to
thing.
get out of here. I got to go
All right,
dinner,
Okay,
man.
honey.
all right, honey.
All right.
Sure,
Say your
man.
speak your piece real quick before you
Oh, they already
leave.
know
Speak
I'm
your
down to
piece.
man. Man, I got so many hits out for me that they know I want it from it. I'm going everywhere. So 228 don't hit.
Two
'Cause
to 800 no hate.
I I shoot first.
You shoot first. Yeah.
Well,
Yo, bot. So basically, what time is it?
I wanted to say one real quick thing to
Right.
add for the to the Gears thing was I think it's a good idea going forward in the future, right?
Yeah.
For Microsoft to keep anything based off gameplay, like as far as campaign for a game, like big game, like Halo or like a Gears, more on the hush hush, like the way they did with this, because I think that's part also of the awe factor and the way that it's getting received better by the audience because it didn't give people time to try to dissect and look for flaws and look for stupid stuff to find the reasoning or a reason to try to hate on the game. Entiende? Before it came out. Gears of War, they held it to the chest until like 2 weeks before it came out. Entiende? And I think that was a smart. I think that was a smart move because it added the element of surprise that we used to get back in the day with movies and games when we didn't have social media to spoil everything or to make fun of stuff without even playing the game. Because a lot of people were like, "Oh, Gears gonna be trash." That's why they're not showing it. You get what I'm saying? And it's funny because I heard you and Hundred talking when I had cut off that the people are like, "Oh yeah, but it only sold or there was only 3.3 million people on it in the first weekend, which is only 2 days. Weekend consists of Friday and Saturday, right? Because Sunday's really supposed to be the very first day of the week. And all those were ultimate versions, meaning you had to buy into it. You couldn't get the game unless you bought into it early. So there were games that had to be paid some way or another, whether it was through the console, whether it was through the Ultimate Edition physical, or through Game Pass Ultimate Edition, the subscription service. So either way, it was you had to buy into it. It wasn't the actual official launch. So we'll know for sure if it did decent or good when the official launch numbers come out and the NPDs hopefully maybe next month. So I think that going forward, it'd be smart for them to do that with all their games because that way they won't give nobody a chance to hate on the game or try to ruin it by making these agendas and present these dumb, stupid haters and rhetoric. Give them the time to bring up stuff to try to hate on it so that the casuals that are looking on the outside in will be like, oh no, I'm not even gonna bother because they're saying it sucks. You get what I'm trying to say? That's what I wanted to bring up, those.
Yeah, definitely. I got what you're trying to say, my brother.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Mm-hmm.
want to say thank you guys for stopping by and watching. This is something new for me right now. I just got to learn how to utilize this stuff that I'm on right now and get better at
StreamYard.
my
StreamYard. It's
StreamYard.
spelled StreamYard. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
It looks pretty good. I like the layout. I hope we sound great. I think we do. I'm not sure. But,
yeah, you sound great. I can hear you clearly.
mm-hmm.
And it's something different, and I'm trying to get good at it. And let's see, man. Hopefully everything works out right. And I had a blast today with my boy Hebot. I had a blast today with
Mm-hmm.
Hunted, and
Same here, brother.
we're back, man. And
Yeah.
we also one of the most positive podcasters on Xbox. We Xbox gamers, and we talk about Xbox, but we do get a lot of hate from PlayStation, and we get a
Mm-hmm.
lot of fanboys hating on us and hating on the podcast because they don't like certain members of the team. But it comes with
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
territory. If you ain't getting hate, you ain't make it.
Yeah. If you ain't hey, you ain't doing something great. Oh
And I tell you that. And my boy Hebot is hated by many, loved by few.
yeah.
But them
Love
Twitter
Buffy.
motherfuckers respect my boy.
You just try, man. That's it. Listen, man. We could be positive, but we talk a lot of dumb stuff. We like to be trolls too. We like to be stupid, but we do it for fun. There's a difference between doing it for fun and trying to disrespect somebody. We don't need to do that because this is the internet. You
Okay,
can't you can't be tough on the internet.
you're right. And Bot, before we go answer this last comment, it's for you.
Sure,
It's
sure,
for
sure.
you. I'm gonna put it on the screen. Daniel Idawu. I hope I'm saying it right. He said, but if they keep gameplay close to the cheat, meaning
Mm-hmm.
chess, then what
Mm-hmm.
do they show at E3? Question mark.
Well, I mean, that's a very good question, and it's a question that doesn't have really a right answer because he's right. That couldn't make it or break it. But see, they showed Gears twice, right? I think it was Gears 5 before they actually showed the game. And they didn't show it until the very end, which was in Gamescom. And look how it's working out for them. So I think it's something that they probably should. You're right. It should be something they play by ear based off the game. If it's a new game, like a new IP, I think it's better if they do show it. I agree with him. I think it's better if they show it because you got to create hype, especially that it's a new IP. But if it's
Oh,
something well
that's a
known,
must.
like let's say Fable or something like a new Conquer or something like that, create hype with the trailer, but not show the gameplay, or even with the new Halo Infinite, because then people find reasons to hate. Like he's right. It's like I said. It's not that question is an excellent question, but it doesn't really have a right or wrong answer. It's like you damn if you do, if you damn if you don't. I think though the gamble that they did with years worked in their favor. I really do believe that because it doesn't give time for people, like I said, to hate on the game or look for things to hate on because when you show it too early, then they start psychoanalyzing everything and then just making up shit and making up narratives like, oh yeah, but what about this? And the casual market, right? Let's be clear. We're not talking about hardcore gamers like a lot of you guys that watch us really are. You come here because you're actually real hardcore gamers. But the casuals, the people that go in and the kids that just buy because their friends are playing and they maybe get the interest in the game, they're not going to know this. So the minute they see, oh, well, I heard Gears was trash because this people said it, because Angry Joe said it, or because Richard Utech said it, or because Next Gen 720 said it, whatever. Okay, let's see, whatever. That can hurt a game. Okay, and I'm not saying that Next Gen said that. It's for all you guys go on twisting what I said. I'm giving you an example. Um, that can hurt the game in that sense because look what happened to games like Quantum Break and Rise and even Sunset Overdrive. Phenomenal new IPs that were fantastic, and they didn't even get a fair a fair assessment from the whole gaming community because a lot of people, when you ask them, well, why didn't you play? Oh, because I heard the game was terrible, or that it was corny, or that it was too short, or that it was 700p. For Christ's sakes, the resolution, like really? Nobody says that with Nintendo games running at 300p, right? For the Switch. Ain't nobody scoring on Zelda because it runs out of dock and off dock mode at 565p is saying that the Legend of Zelda remastered Game Boy game is trash. They got people out here saying that it's a 9.5 and giving Gears a 7. What is a Game Boy game? Of an old school style gameplay. It's not doing anything different or revolutionary. It's just fun, like the old school ones. But yet it's getting a 9.5. Like, see, when you got these newer games that are more elaborate, more expensive, more sophisticated in technical aspects as well, that are trying to implement new gameplay and new techniques. That is it takes a lot of hard work and talent and obviously thought process between the developers to figure out new ways to come up with things that are interesting and fun and new for these games. And yet there comes a hater or an average Joe because he has 1 million or 2 million subscribers on YouTube say the game is dog shit, and then people go listen and the game fails. That's why I'm saying that they should call it. But he does have a good point and a good question. So my answer would be to you: new IPs, yes, show them to create hype. Older IPs, hold it to the chest until it's closer to the button to keep the hype momentum going in before the launch so that people can judge it based off the game's release instead of people's stupid dumb rhetoric months and months before saying whatever they feel like saying about the game. Because at the end of the day, everybody's opinion is different and no real gamer should be taking the opinion of anybody of a game or of another gamer to heart. You should go and play the game yourself and judge it for yourself because where I shit, you don't eat. That's an expression. Forgive me for being vulgar. You might like it. Doesn't mean that I have to like it. You get what I'm saying? And that's basically what I tell people. You know, just go check it out yourself. If you like it, fantastic. If you don't, at least you know you tried it. That's
Well,
the best.
well, Daniel, my boy Hebot answered your question. I hope he answered you the best way he can. So
Yeah.
thank you for stopping by, guys. Bot, let them know where they can find you at.
Well, in my YouTube, and as you see there, and my gamer pick right there, the that I put up, the new one, that has my Mixer information, where you can find me on Mixer too, because I'm gonna try to do more shows on Mixer because of the fact that YouTube changed the Hangouts, and it's harder for me to upload stuff. So I'm gonna try to start doing my interviews with certain YouTubers, and I'm trying to set something up with an actual well-known developer. That's I've been on the works for like 2 months, but because of scheduling, it hasn't happened. But I think when it finally happens, you guys are gonna be surprised, and I think you guys are gonna be happy. And I want to make it possible for you guys as well that follow me and respect what I do. So yeah, that's basically a Mixer on Xbox Live. I'm Hebot8, and on you Twitter, and and obviously on the internet, basically social media like Facebook groups. You can find me on Direct Gaming with my boy New Legal and my boys at DX Mansion, and obviously Intro Media Gaming with my boy 100. So guys, been great. It's great to be back and be able to do something. Hopefully, we can keep the consistency and do shows weekly. And thank you for having me on and letting me know right away, Ghost. I mean, like always, I'm honored to always be here with you, my brother.
Anytime, my brother. And thank you for the people that's rocking out and watching the podcast as we speak. Live Wires Game, what's up, brother? Shout outs to
Hmm.
you, my brother.
Yeah, you're right, Mr. Kima.
Yo, one of these days, man, Live Wires, maybe you want to rock out with us, jump in the
Yeah, yeah.
podcast with us. That'll be great.
Any of our brothers and our fans,
Mr.
Mr.
Kima,
Kima himself,
you
himself.
want to
Yeah,
come one of these days, bro, and get
rock
down and
out.
speak your mind, you could come rock out with us, man.
That's right.
Remember, man, we ain't bad, man. We good people, man. Ain't no bad people over here. All I'm saying is this. We back. It's been a while, guys. We had technical difficulties, but now we back. God bless y'all. Thanks for stopping by. Like I said, once again, peace.
Peace. Good night, people.